One of the most well-known political voices today that we have absolutely destroys this professor who is molding young minds after she says that speech is violence. You guys are not going to believe this.
List of statistics in your talk which you claim support the idea that illegal immigrants are dangerous or criminals.
I cited a number of statistics that show that they commit federal crimes at a significantly higher rate than native-born Americans. Yeah.
Okay. So what role do you think that structural racism and inherent bias has to play in those statistics?
I don't think that the people who enter this country illegally are forced to do so by some sort of systemic racism. There's no systemic American racist going down to El Salvador and saying, you better get up and sneak into the United States. And there's nobody in the United States who forces people who come here illegally to commit crimes. I think the premise of this question is actually quite offensive, though it's a popular assumption, which is that illegal aliens somehow don't have free will. It's the assumption that illegal aliens are somehow morally uneducated. They have no sense of right and wrong. They have no ability to control their emotions and their impulses. This is obviously profoundly racist and not true. We have free will. We have the ability to do what we want to do. This is why, by the way, the majority of Hispanic people in the United States and Hispanic voters oppose illegal immigration. The races are exactly the same. The ethnicity is exactly the same. The question of crime is different because race does not determine your criminality.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that people of color are more likely to be convicted of crimes unfairly than white people.
They're more likely to commit certain crimes, that's true. I don't think that's because of their race. I think it's because of aspects of their free will and perhaps of culture.
That's not true. I'm talking about...
That is true. I mean, what I just said is true.
I'm not quite sure where you're getting your statistics from, and you choose
from the federal government.
You choose to interpret
from
them in your...
Bureau of Justice Statistics and Department of Homeland Security.
Can I talk? Is that
well,
okay?
you said you didn't know where I got my statistics from, and I'm telling you where I get them from.
Well, it would have been nice if you could have let me finish my sentence. Anyway,
I was answering your question.
You are using your statistics for your own political agenda, and that's your prerogative.
I'm citing statistics because they're true.
I'm talking about the fact that I'm faculty here. I also support a protester in the back.
What do you support specifically? Do you think that anti-immigrant rhetoric is violent free speech?
Yes, because of the reasons
you think that speech is violence?
No, I think that
that's what that sign says.
The conversation that you're having is oppressive.
So I am oppressing people by what I'm doing. So I am exerting violence on people by my speech. That's what the sign says, and that's what you just said.
It contributes to...
And the protester is saying that's exactly what I'm doing, and she's saying that's exactly what her sign means. So that means that you, a faculty member at an American public university, paid for by taxpayer dollars, are conflating speech with violence.
Yes. Speech can be violent. What you are saying contributes to systemic racism in this country. It means that my students of color are pulled over and accused of stealing a car when they did not.
I'm not pulling anybody over for stealing any cars.
I'm not saying that you
I see many
personally
people
did.
of many different races in this room. They all seem to be doing just fine. I don't think any of them have felt violence because they listened to a lecture on basic facts about our immigration system. The question was, have I asked people in this room if they've felt as though some violence has been committed on them? No, I haven't asked, because no violence has been committed on you. Because violence is not a subjective feeling. Violence is an objective fact. I can objectively gauge whether or not someone has become violent. The other day, I was at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. Some protester attacked me with some weird chemical. That was an objective act of violence. But somebody disagreeing with me, such as some people in this room are doing, are not committing violence on me. And I would say to you, as a faculty member at a taxpayer-funded university, this is the foundation of liberal education. If you cannot understand that there is a difference between speech and violence, you don't understand anything that undergirds the liberal arts or liberal education. And that is a real shame. And I say this with all respect and with great distress for our universities. If our teachers don't understand the difference between ideas and violence, between speech and violence, then they are in no position to educate the next generation of Americans.
I've been to art school for 8 years. I understand liberal arts extremely well. I am an artist, and I
I
fully
don't think
understand.
you do. I'm sure you've been to art school
My
for 8
colleague
years, but
over
you
there
do not
is
understand the
holding up a
liberal
sign
arts.
which says "Disrupting speech is fascism." You are
No, the sign
continually
says anti.
disrupting
Oh,
me.
that one, disrupting speech.
Yeah.
But yes,
See, you understand?
Yes,
You
these
get it?
people who are yelling are disrupting my speech, and
You're
I agree, it's
interrupting me.
fascism.
You're interrupting me, and I think that you need to look up violence in the dictionary or expand your idea of violence.
Hold on, I'll look it up right now. Hold on. Hold on a second. Let me look it up. Let's see. Violence definition. Hold on. Violence definition. So you're saying that violence can be speech. Oh, my Wi-Fi went out. That's too bad. I'll look it up later. I'll post it on my Twitter. Violence is not speech. Let me say it again. Violence is not speech. Let me say it for all the professors in the room. Violence is not speech. Speech is not violence.
Sad state of affairs in America is that the educational system is corrupt with a lot of leftists or lunatics. They don't teach facts anymore. They teach feelings and they pawn those off as facts. I experienced it firsthand. When I went to college, almost every single professor I can tell hated Donald Trump. It was right when he got in 2016, 2017, 2018. These people were seething. The day after Donald Trump got elected, I was dealing with people who said our country is over. And this was not just some crazy opinion by one teacher. This was the status quo about all the teachers. They all felt the same, thought the same, and it made me sit there and wonder. I'm in an indoctrination camp, and a lot of these people are buying every single word that they said. They could not differentiate opinions and facts. I can see right through these people. And this woman right here who's debating Michael Knowles is a perfect example of someone being educated versus indoctrinated. It's clear she's just following a script. She's saying what she should be saying, and she believes this to be true, not knowing that everything she believes in is a lie. It's a farce. I believe it was Socrates who said it himself. The first step to wisdom is to question everything. Question every worldview that you hold and say, who taught me this? Why do I believe this to be true? Does believing this make my life better in any way? And if you can sit there and say, you know what, every single one of these worldviews works against me, why am I believing this? But a lot of people don't do that. They just scoop up whatever they're told and be a mindless drone parroting the woke mind virus. The woman right here said, I went to art school for 8 years, as if that is qualifying every single thing that she says. So you learn how to draw a painting and somehow that makes you qualified over everybody else who did not go to college? Give me a freaking break. It reminds me of that old Calvin Coolidge quote. He says, nothing in this world will take the place of persistence. In my day, I've met a lot of educated derelicts. People who have all these degrees, they collect these degrees like they're Boy Scout medals and they have a bunch and they're so qualified, yet they don't know anything. I can tell how educated somebody is just by having a conversation with them. I don't care what school you went to, what degree you have. If I have a conversation and it's clear that you are just a drone, you're believing everything you're told, and you don't question anything, then in my mind, you're not that smart of a human being. The old adage goes, when you rip out somebody's tongue, you're not proving that they're a liar. You're only scared of what they might say. And the fact that she believes speech is violence tells you everything she needs to know. She's scared other people will expose her for the fraud that she is, so she doesn't want to give them the ability to do so. If you believe that you are right, then you could have anybody in the world speak out, and you will have the facts and the data to back yourself up. But a lot of these people don't have that, and they just want to silence anybody else who makes them look like a fool, and that's basically the modern Democratic Party. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this down below. How do you think Michael Knowles handled this? And yeah, if you enjoyed, make sure to smash out, like, comment, subscribe, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.